You know that feeling, right? The clock hits 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's like a switch just flips. All of a sudden, your energy is just gone. Well, in this explainer, we are going to pull back the curtain on that dreaded afternoon slump, especially for those of us over 60. And more importantly, we're going to lay out a clear plan to help you get that vitality back.
So, let's dive right in. This is the big question, isn't it? Why does that time right after lunch so often feel like you've just run smack into a brick wall? It's so easy to just shrug and say, I'm just getting older. But what if that's not the real story? What if your body is actually trying to send you a very specific message?
I bet that sounds familiar, doesn't it? It's not just about being a little tired or sleepy, it's that heavy fog, the kind that makes even the simplest thing on your to-do list feel like climbing a mountain. It's an incredibly common feeling, and we're about to unpack exactly why it's happening.
And here is the single most important idea to grab onto. We have to change how we think about this. That afternoon crash is not some unavoidable tax you have to pay for getting older. Think of it as a distress signal. It's your body waving a little red flag, telling you that something is out of whack. And you know what's great about that? If something's out of balance, it means we can figure out why and bring it back into balance.
Okay, so let's put on our detective hats. Our investigation begins now. It turns out there are 3 main culprits, 3 troublemakers working behind the scenes, conspiring to drain your energy every afternoon. So let's go unmask them one by one. First up, we've got something the source material calls biological gridlock. And honestly, it's pretty much what it sounds like. A massive traffic jam deep inside your digestive system. A natural process that's supposed to be flowing smoothly has basically ground to a halt.
And get a load of this. This is the scale of the problem we're talking about. The source points out that after you hit 50, a really critical process in your gut, they call it the cleaning wave, can slow down by a whopping 40%. 40%. That right there is the root cause of that internal gridlock.
So what is this cleaning wave anyway? Well, think of it like a natural street sweeper for your intestines. It's a series of muscle contractions that moves through between meals to clear out all the leftover debris. But when it slows down by 40%, food particles get left behind. And what happens then? They sit there and ferment, creating what the source brilliantly calls a zombie invasion of toxic gunk. Your body then has to divert a ton of precious energy just to deal with this mess. And that's energy you no longer have for your brain, for your muscles, for your life.
All right, on to culprit number 2. And this one often works hand in hand with the first. We're talking about a metabolic crash. And ironically, it's often set in motion by the very foods you might be eating for breakfast, thinking you're doing something really healthy.
This is one of those things that might really surprise you. For many of us over 60, fruits we've always thought of as healthy, like bananas or grapes, can act like little sugar bombs on our system. See, as we get older, our cells can become a bit less responsive to insulin, which is the hormone that manages our blood sugar. So you eat that banana, and your blood sugar shoots way up, and then a few hours later, it comes crashing down just as hard. That shaky, foggy, exhausted feeling you get around 2 p.m., it's basically a metabolic hangover from your breakfast.
And that brings us to our final piece of the puzzle. We've talked about a traffic jam in the gut and a sugar crash. Now let's look at your body's communication network, the wiring itself, and a potential short circuit. I want you to imagine the electrical wires inside the walls of your house. They have that plastic coating, right? To protect the copper wire inside and make sure the signal gets where it's going. Well, your nerves have a similar insulation. It's called the myelin sheath. And as the years go by, that insulation can start to wear thin. It can start to fray. When that happens, the signals between your brain and your body get slow, weak, and unreliable. So what's causing these wires to fray? Well, according to the source, it really boils down to 2 main things. First, not getting enough of certain key nutrients like vitamin B12, which are the building blocks for that insulation. And second, something called silent dehydration. As we age, our sense of thirst isn't always as sharp as it used to be, so it's really easy to be dehydrated and not even realize it. It's like asking your body to run perfectly with frayed wires and a bad connection. It just can't do it.
Okay, so we've met the bad guys. We've seen the gridlock, the crash, and the short circuit. But here's the best part. This is not a life sentence, not even close. There are clear, simple, actionable things we can do about it. And that brings us to the solution, a targeted plan that the source calls the Vitality Protocol.
The protocol is broken down into 4 pretty simple steps, and as we go through them, you're going to see how each one is specifically designed to fight back against one of those culprits we just unmasked. So let's walk through them. Step 1 is so simple, but it's really powerful. Before you even swing your legs out of bed in the morning, just pause. Lie there for 30 seconds. That's it. That simple little act gives your blood pressure a moment to stabilize, which helps prevent that jolt of cardiovascular stress that, over time, can really wear on your system.
Next up, we're going right after that biological gridlock. Step 2 is a simple digestive tonic made with 2 superstar ingredients, ginger and artichoke extract. This specific combination has been shown to help break down all that stagnant stuff and, most importantly, kickstart that sleepy cleaning wave to get it moving again.
And look, this isn't just a guess. The results from clinical tests are, well, they're pretty incredible. This ginger and artichoke blend improved what's called gut transit time by an amazing 67%. 67%! Just take a second to think about all the energy that frees up when your body doesn't have to waste it on that internal cleanup job anymore. Step 3 is how we deal with that metabolic crash, and it's a simple, powerful food swap. Instead of those sugar bomb fruits, the protocol suggests switching to what it calls cellular rejuvenators, and a great example is pomegranate. See, pomegranate has these unique compounds that your gut bacteria can turn into something called urolithin A. And this stuff is amazing. It's like sending a microscopic cleaning crew into your cells to clear out the old, worn-out power plants, your mitochondria, and help build new ones.
And finally, step 4. This is all about rebuilding. To fix those fraying wires around our nerves, we need the right building materials. The protocol recommends protein sources like teff or something called casein, which is the main protein in cottage cheese. These provide the perfect, easily absorbed amino acids to help restore the scaffolding, the very structure of your nerves and muscles.
So when you put all this together, what does it really mean for your future? It means your future isn't set in stone. That 2 p.m. slump is not inevitable. It's just a symptom. And by taking these targeted steps, you can actively, consciously reclaim your body's own natural vitality. And what does that reclaimed vitality actually look like in the real world? It looks like this. It's about taking back control over these 5 absolute pillars of physical independence: your strength, your balance, your mobility, endurance, and coordination. This is about so much more than just having energy. This is about freedom.
I really want you to let this sink in. Your body has an incredible, amazing capacity to bounce back. That fog in your head, the creaks in your joints, those aren't signs that the machine is broken. They're just signs that the machine has been waiting for the right fuel, for the right instructions, to start humming along beautifully again.
And that leaves us with this one last thought. The clock on the wall, it's going to keep on ticking. 2 o'clock is going to arrive every single day. But with a plan like this, the question isn't when the fog will roll in anymore. The question is if it will roll in at all, because now that control is back in your hands.